You have just tapped into the Christian Life Coach Collective, and I'm your host, Laura Malone. I'm here to equip and encourage coaches in skills, business, personal life, and faith. I believe you're already 100% worthy and capable, and you're called for such a time as this. So let's get you walking it out with courage and confidence so you can be an amazing coach who sees transformation and great results in both your life and the lives around you. Let's get started. Okay, welcome back to the myth series, or busting them all. We're talking about a common thing that keeps a lot of coachpreneurs stuck today. I need to do it all myself so I can save money. And I get it, because when you're starting out, every dollar counts. I know that. I remember it in the beginning. It was like, I have to do it all. I have to figure it all out. I have to skimp here, and until I have clients, even when I first have those clients, I need to do it myself, and I have to do it as cheaply as possible, and I need to get it all done. So that means I have to figure out how to do it in ways that, lead magnets. Get this freebie. Somebody can teach me how to build a website for free. They're offering me a manual. All I have to do is give them my email address, right? I get all of that. But what if trying to do everything actually costs you more in time and energy, and actually costs you more income in the long run? So I want to break it down, because it's really easy to not only believe that myth in the beginning, but also keep believing it as you grow and scale, and not know when to start outsourcing or letting go of something, or figuring out different ways to do it. Because if you believe it in the beginning, you keep believing it unless you intentionally change the thought that you have and the belief system, right? A lot of coaches believe they have to handle every aspect of their business throughout their business. The website design, the bookkeeping, the social media, the marketing, like all of it. And I know that maybe even if you can do it, it doesn't mean you should, right? The truth is that your time is very valuable. And if you're spending a bunch of time and many, many hours tweaking your website, or managing all of your own accounts in financial, social, all of the things, you're actually taking yourself away from what actually brings the money in, which is coaching. I knew in the beginning I was great at helping clients get a breakthrough, but I actually spent so many hours building my website, not knowing I didn't need one. I spent all of this time learning how to operate inside of Wix. I spent so much time trying to figure out how to create and edit social media graphics and posts, and that's not even something I do all of these years later. I don't like being on social media, so it's not my thing. But I wasted so much time in the beginning doing things on my own, believing to save money, I have to spend all of my time doing these things. And I spent less time coaching and telling people I was a coach and making an offer or creating content, because I was doing all of these other things that other people could have done, or I didn't actually need to be doing. And I took that mindset with me into the growth of my business. So the problem was is I didn't start out as a website designer or graphic designer. Like, I ended up tired and frustrated at the end of every day because I actually wasn't doing what I really wanted to be doing. I was wasting a lot of my precious time. And I would do this work after my kids went to bed. That's how I started out in the beginning. I was waking up before they got up, and I was staying up after they went to bed, and I was spending all my time on my computer doing things that had nothing to do with coaching. And I wasn't booking new clients because I was too busy with all these behind the scenes tasks that I thought was so important and had to be done right now. And I'm thinking that probably sounds familiar to some of you listening. So the solution that I would offer, or a potential solution, is that instead of trying to do everything yourself, start thinking, what do I do best? And Focus on that. The things that you're going to be really good at cultivating and growing in are the things that you enjoy doing. If you like social media, you'll do it because you want to be consistent. You want to be on there. You need to be doing more of the thing that will move the needle that you are willing and desire to show up for and become consistent at. So even in that, like, number one, I really recommend trying to build a support system somehow. Connect with other coaches, get an accountability partner, find other people who do things that maybe you could trade with, or even a virtual assistant. There's a lot of virtual assistants out there that you can get even kind of on the cheap. People who can support you in areas that are really not your lane to be running in, the things outside of your expertise, right? And then think about any energy draining tasks, the stuff that's not in your zone of genius, right? Delegate those things. Again, a virtual assistant for maybe some admin work. Maybe you know somebody who, maybe a woman in the neighborhood is a bookkeeper for somebody. Could you ask her to help you? In the beginning, you don't need a bookkeeper for a bunch of things, but it might be helpful for her to help you build. Maybe you could throw her, whatever you make from one client, throw her that amount of money and say, will you set me up in a spreadsheet that's easy for me to understand for a coaching business? And ask her just to get you set up so that it's something you consistently do. Or maybe you find somebody who's good at designing stuff for your branding. And in the beginning, it's so okay to experiment. And then as you're growing, please invest the money that you make into growing your business. Pay somebody to do the things you shouldn't be doing. They are going to do it better. They're going to do it faster. And that's actually going to help you be the person who's out there sharing content and making offers so that you get clients and you can do your consultations with them and you can actually be getting to the place where you coach people. I know it seems like an extra or added or unnecessary expense sometimes, but it's going to free you up to actually be doing more to make money doing what you love doing. Fiverr.com, Fiverr, I think I'll put the link in the notes, show notes. Check those things out and help people, get people to help you do things cheaply and just get some things started for you. Do you know somebody at work that can do something that might be willing to trade? Maybe you babysit and they build, help you build out your branding. If you think the branding is actually where you're at, when you first start, you don't need to worry about branding. You just need to go cultivate an offer and get some clients. Branding will always change. So unless you're actually ready for that, don't focus on it. Same thing with a website. You don't need a website if you don't have any clients. You know why? Is if you don't have clients, you don't know what anybody needs to hear. So you actually have nothing to say on your website because you don't have any clients who've helped you know what kind of results you can help them get, what kind of problems they have, what kind of language they need to see on a website that would speak to them. You don't need a website to have a coaching business. You should have a coaching business and clients way before you have a website. I'm saying not just months. It might be years before you need a website. But you can book a session with me and we can actually figure out where you're at and when a website is actually a necessity for you. The next thing is to collaborate with other professionals. You don't have to reinvent every wheel, especially if you're like a creative mind like me. You don't have to. You need to get focused. One tree focus. We're not going to go take down a whole forest of trees. We're just going to go to the backyard, take an axe, take that tree down as quickly as possible, right? So maybe there's somebody you can partner with who will complement your skills. Maybe you coach and they handle your tech, your marketing, different things. Find these people in your life and don't be ashamed or afraid to go ask other people if they'd be willing to use their skill set as a benefit to you in some way. Maybe you pay them, but maybe you barter, maybe you trade, maybe you coach them Maybe you offer them free coaching in exchange for what they can do in their own profession. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you, let go of the things that you do not need. That, like a website, is one of them. It's a seriously overrated and unnecessary thing for somebody just starting a business. Business cards are full out branding, expensive logos, complete perfected taglines, Google Analytics, like all that stuff that comes later. Facebook ads, that comes later. You do not need this. You need clients. When you're first starting, the only thing you need is to get out there and say, I'm a life coach. I help people in this way. Like, I'm looking for these people who have this problem because I have a solution. Find people by talking and sharing and get yourself visible. My rule of thumb is when you have clients paying for something, that's when you can invest in something. Otherwise, keep all your overhead of money and time very low and spend it all on being in front of the people so you can learn what they need and get experience coaching those very real breathing humans. So my takeaway here is that I want you to take a moment. I want you to write down 3 tasks that you are doing right now that you could either delegate, outsource, or let go. Might be your bookkeeping or your email management or your social media scheduling or the concept that you need the perfect business card. Whatever it is, identify the things that are draining your energy and keeping you from actually going out and making an offer and getting visible and letting people know what you can do, what it looks like to work with you, and a real actionable way to do it, that call to action, the link that they need, or the QR code, or the email address. Whatever it is that you need to be doing, look at what is an obstacle for you to do that. And if you are like me in the beginning and a lot of coaches, and you're using these things, this build a website, this perfect branding, if you're looking at doing all of these things and it's what you use to buffer because you're afraid of going out and telling people you're a coach and making offers and getting visible, I need you to book a session so we can deal with that. We've got to get you past the place where you're afraid to be a coach and thinking that your coaching business is not being built and you don't have clients because you don't have the marketing and you don't have the social media and all that. No, you don't have that because you're not getting visible and telling people that you have an offer in coaching that could help them. And if you're afraid of that and you're buffering, then we need to deal with that. I would love to help you because it really is as simple as one session. I can help you work through that. It's a mindset block. It's a belief system. We can change it. I can help you get through it and teach you how to manage that and work yourself through it every time it keeps coming back to get you, okay? You don't have to do all of this alone. The most successful coaches out there are not doing it by themselves. They outsource, they collaborate, and those things, they're not expenses. They're investments into your business. And I would say into your sanity and your joy, the very thing. You become a coach because you love coaching people. You love to guide them. You love being invested and holding space and making time for them and helping them get the transformation they are desperate for or inspired to go after. You love that. But it's so easy to sabotage that joy when you are sucked into all these other things that you feel are so important, such a priority, or that you feel like there's no capacity to let somebody else touch it or help you with it. Or you're operating from more of a scarcity mindset of like, I just don't have it. I can't do it. I've got to do it all by myself. We have to let go of that mindset and take it to the Lord and ask him, like, would you bring somebody who could help me do this? Maybe somebody would be willing to volunteer or just be really benevolent and offer you their time, even if it's just an hour. If you could get really specific about what you need, you could probably ask somebody to do something for you as a favor or just to bless you. And maybe you can trade it, but Maybe somebody has a friend or a daughter or a sister who could really use your coaching, and you are willing to trade 4 coaching sessions that gives you experience and exposure. And probably you can still get like referrals and a testimonial from her, but you're trading it so that somebody else helps you do some of the, again, not in your zone of genius work. Why not? Where there's a will, there's a way. All these things are possible. And with God and with each other, they are very figure-outable. All right, friend, I hope this has been eye-opening to you about the things that are draining your energy and keeping you stuck in a place where you're not getting to coach because you're consumed with all these either unnecessary things or out of your lane tasks, because you can get free from them. There are ways to do it. I want to help you. And I totally believe you are capable of moving forward with the next right action and becoming very successful in your coaching business. Thanks for listening. For more coaching resources and to learn how to work with me, head to sterlingandstonementoring.com or click the link in the show notes. Remember, walk boldly in your calling, and I'll talk to you next time.